Salutations builders, I am Stippling and this is
the Mocitorium,
the best place for tips, tricks, and modifications to your official and custom CCBS creations. After releasing episode 11, Enter the Shadows, of the 30-minute mock series, I received a number of questions about how to attach a Hero Factory brain attack visor to a 2015 Bionicle Head. In this quick tutorial, I will demonstrate how to achieve what was shown in the video and what parts are necessary to do so. A quick disclaimer before we start. I acknowledge and accept the fact that the building techniques showcased here are mostly illegal LEGO connections. However, I found this method to be the most optimal way to connect the visor and still have it line up with the eye slots. Let's get started. These are the parts you will need in order to build this. 1 Bionicle Head. You will not need a brain stock with it. 1 Hero Factory brain attack visor. In this example, I'm using part number 13345 from the Furno XL set, but any visor from the brain attack wave will work. 1 length 2 axle in either red or black. 1 1x1 slope piece, part number 54200. I believe the one I used here is transparent orange, but any transparent piece will allow for sufficient light piping of the eyes. 1 90-degree Technic axle connector piece, part number 10197. So it takes a mere 5 parts to make this happen. Let's go ahead and put it all together. You'll want to start by taking your 90-degree Technic axle and placing it within the confines of the head. This is normally where the brain stock goes. Secure this by putting in the length 2 axle. Now keep in mind that this axle doesn't actually stay in there. It'll pressure stay, but it's not actually held together by anything, so you want to make sure that you don't lose that at any point. So I recommend gripping it here until you're finished with the build. Now you'll want to lift up this 90-degree axle so that you can expose the front area of the head. That's where your cheese wedge comes in. You want to place the cheese wedge inside the head so that it covers the eye holes. This will let out a decent amount of lighting and will replace the brain stock's function. To put it in, you want to orient it with the thin side of the cheese wedge upside down, and then the cheese wedge just goes right in, and it should fit in that little pocket right in there. If you do it right, it'll just slide right in. And see, that's incorrect. You'll want to keep trying until you get it right. See, that's the correct position. Just knocked it right in place. So you can see it's secured in that regard and the eyes are covered. And then what this does here, this axle, is when you orient it the correct way, it'll hold everything in place. So it'll keep that cheese wedge locked in position and will allow also for the visor to connect, which is our final step. You just take this visor here, and not using the clip on there, we're instead using the axle hole up top, and you merely slide it right on top. Make sure you don't lose anything. So again, pinch there and grip, and then now it's connected, and you can just slide it right down. And when you slide it into the correct position, it lines up not only with the eyes but with the nose, and there's nothing really out of place. Now you'll see, now that we have the visor in position, the axle that's kind of loose inside there is stuck because the visor covers that hole and prevents it from sliding back and forth. The only thing you risk falling apart is if you open up the visor and you can pop that out. So you really want to be careful when you take the visor off. So that's all there is to it. I'm pretty happy with how it looks overall, and with the fact that the visor can still angle upward. I would have preferred if that little bit of axle didn't stick out of the top, but the dark bluish gray axle paired with the metallic printing on this visor blends it well enough that most probably didn't even notice it was there. This is just one way I found to connect the brain attack visor to a 2015 Bionicle Head. Try out this method on your own and see if you can improve upon it, or maybe even come up with your own design. Let me know what you find in the comments and what you thought of this build. And as always, thanks for watching.